Talk about it. Good morning, Bridget.
Good morning.
We love a good juicy piece of meat on the grill, don't we?
Yeah,
I'm just leading it right there.
Yeah, it's grilling season.
I can't wait. Fired it up many times already. But I want to know, how do we just start with choosing what type to put on the grill? Maybe steaks over just a specific cut. I don't know, wherever you want to go with this.
Right.
One. Yeah.
A lot of people are used to grilling burgers, so that's a good start to using beef on the grill, and then trying different steaks. So a different way that you can do it is you can buy in bulk.
To save costs,
to
right?
work on your cost savings, and then you can slice it to the thickness and kind of try different things to see what works for you.
There's so many different things too, and it depends on how many family members I guess you have to cook for, and kids, and their portions are going to be less.
Too.
Yeah, everything. It's like a whole science. It really is. But what about just more like specific cuts of meat? Where do we kind of start maybe when we're shopping? How do I know what to look for?
Sure. A couple cuts that you can try that are kind of fun and easy to use would be like a sirloin steak. You can buy that in a larger portion, and then you can slice that yourself, or you can put it into smaller pieces and have what we call at our house little steak bites and things like that. And then also using different marinades and kind of changing the flavor profile for your group.
It kind of shakes it up. If you're over one flavor, you can do something else. Now, yeah, let's dive a little bit into the flavor. I mean, I love when there's fresh parsley and just adds more color, I think, to make your plate prettier.
Right.
But what if, like, do you do a rub or like the liquid marinade? How do I know what's best for me?
Everyone is getting so skilled now with all of their grills and smokers, so it's kind of fun to do different experiments. A lot of people use marinades, and that is a great way to also make sure that your meat is defrosted correctly, because that's going to really help with your grill experience. But using the different marinades, making sure that you have adequate time for it to absorb some of those flavor profiles, and then always following food safety, making sure that when you go to grill it that you discard any leftover marinade, and then you just kind of proceed from there.
Oh, I'm very careful. I try not to cook my lettuce or cut it next to the meat while I'm marinating. That's a huge thing. And more so for chicken too, but it's huge for any type of raw meat. It really is. Now that leads me to the other question. I like to cook more than just for one meal, so maybe meal prepping in a way, but leftovers are huge. So how do we go about cooking the beef leftovers?
Right, so if you're going to have planned overs instead of leftovers, when you're doing your grilling, you can make sure that you're cooking those items just slightly under what you would normally serve it at. And then cooling that off, keeping it in your fridge, and then when you reheat it, it should be right to where you want it for your doneness.
Oh, so then that way it doesn't dry out completely.
Right.
That's my problem. Now I learned from you, Bridget. That is a great tip. Okay, serving size. Does it matter right off the grill to those planned overs? How does the serving size come into play?
Sure. A great serving size for beef is about your 4-ounce portion, or like a 6-ounce steak. Kind of works into that.
Raw or cooked?
The 6-ounce for the raw one will get you about that. And then you think like a quarter-pounder burger when you're grilling. But working on that and making sure that when you are doing those planned overs, that you have your portions for the next day, whether you're going to throw a burger in your air fryer or have steak to slice up and put on a salad or work into an omelet or things like that.
So many different ways that you can cook beef, especially with the summertime. I always say it adds more pep in our step. I think when it's warm out and we're grilling, inspires us a lot here. So basically we learned here from stretching your dollar when it comes down to beef and finding that right cut and buy in bulk and pretty much, and use seasonings and marinades. Bridget, we want to thank you for coming on here today, but first things first, where can we find more about the North Dakota Beef Commission?
You can go to our website, ndbeef.org.
We appreciate it. Thanks, Bridget. We keep it here. More to come on North Dakota Today after the break.